This must reach you before July 2nd. What's coming isn't just another day, it's an energetic rupture. Most people don't fail their awakening, they get ambushed by it. Why? Because no one warned them what it actually takes to survive. Let's break down the 10 brutal truths that explain why July 2nd will test everything you think you are. Awakening is often romanticized as a peaceful path lined with light, serenity, and gentle transformation. But in reality, it arrives more like a storm, uninvited, unstoppable, and unapologetic. It doesn't softly whisper wisdom into your soul. It tears apart the illusions you've lived by, the identities you've clung to, and the comfort zones you mistook for peace. Awakening isn't about feeling better, it's about seeing the truth, no matter how much it hurts. And that kind of truth doesn't soothe you, it shatters you. Most people don't crumble under failure, they fall apart when faced with clarity. Clarity reveals what you've been ignoring, denying, or justifying for years. It forces you to confront the parts of yourself you hid, even from your own reflection. On July 2nd, this intensity sharpens. The universe doesn't knock gently on your door, it breaks it down. You'll be asked to choose between what's real and what's familiar, between your soul's evolution and your ego's survival. This spiritual quake doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to expose the parts of you that were never real. And in that exposure, you are handed the most difficult gift: choice. Will you rise into who you truly are, or will you cling to what's safe and crumble under its weight? July 2nd is not a gentle reminder, it's a divine ultimatum. Elevate or break. There is no more middle ground. When your world suddenly goes quiet, texts stop, plans fall through, people seem to vanish. It's easy to mistake this for rejection or punishment. But what feels like abandonment is actually divine protection. The silence isn't empty, it's sacred. It's the universe pulling you inward, away from the noise of others' opinions, away from the distractions that dilute your truth. It's creating space not to isolate you, but to insulate you, so you can finally hear your own soul speak. This period of solitude is not accidental. It's intentional and it's essential. Your nervous system, long wired to react to others, now gets a chance to reset without interference. No more bending to please, performing to be accepted, or shrinking to fit. Without the static of social obligations and external expectations, your inner frequency begins to recalibrate. You start to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Think of it as a cocoon. From the outside, it looks still, dead even. But on the inside, a complete transformation is underway. Isolation during awakening isn't a punishment. It's the scalpel that separates what is real from what is merely a performance. You're not being left behind. You're being prepared to re-emerge. Not as a version of who you were, but as the truth of who you are. Out of nowhere, a wave of guilt crashes into you. There's no trigger you can name, no mistake you've recently made, just a heaviness that sits in your chest like a forgotten memory. This isn't the guilt you're used to. It doesn't come from your mind, it comes from your soul. What you're feeling is a karmic echo, the emotional residue of old choices, unresolved energy, and wounds that never got a voice. And now, under the weight of this July 2nd moon, they're rising, not to haunt you, but to finally be healed. This isn't anxiety, though it may disguise itself as such. It's not irrational, it's ancient. You're not broken for feeling this way. You're simply remembering pain that was never yours alone. The lunar energy acts like a spotlight. illuminating the hidden layers of your spiritual DNA. Lifetimes of silence, sacrifice, betrayal, or loss begin to bubble to the surface. These aren't mistakes to fix, they're energies to feel. You can't outrun them, and you're not meant to. You're meant to witness them with compassion. Healing doesn't begin with answers, it begins with allowing. Let the guilt rise like steam from your skin without naming it, fixing it, or shaming it. Just observe. When you hold space for something without trying to change it, you disarm its power. And that's where the magic happens. These soul wounds don't want resolution, they want release. And that release begins when you stop resisting their presence and start honoring their message. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for daily cosmic insights, astrology updates, and spiritual guidance, because the universe always has a message for you. One of the strangest parts of spiritual awakening is how physical it becomes. Suddenly, the foods you used to crave taste dull or even repulsive. Scents you once loved make you nauseous. Habits that brought comfort now feel unnatural or even toxic. You're not being dramatic or difficult. Your body is undergoing a vibrational detox. It's sensing the energetic misalignment long before your mind can process it. This isn't random. This is evolution in real time. Your frequency is rising, and your biology is responding accordingly. Everything that resonated with your old self, your routines, your diet, even your daily surroundings, is being filtered out. The body is an instrument, and when you raise your vibration, it tunes itself to new frequencies by releasing what no longer fits. What looks like discomfort is actually a deep purification. Your cells, your senses, your rhythms, they're all aligning with a more truthful version of you. It may feel confusing or frustrating to not recognize your own preferences anymore, but this is part of the shedding process. You're not just letting go of external things, you're releasing an outdated identity that no longer holds your truth. And your body, in its wisdom, is leading the charge. Trust its signals. Listen to its shifts. What you're experiencing is not dysfunction, it's transformation. And your new self is waiting just on the other side of your old cravings. During awakening, one of the most deceptive traps is the sudden wave of overthinking and doubt that hits you just when you thought you were gaining clarity. Everything begins to feel slightly off. Your choices, your relationships, your path. You start second-guessing every step forward. But here's the truth. This isn't your intuition warning you. This is your ego sounding the alarm. It's trying to protect itself from extinction, wearing the mask of logic, caution, and false wisdom. The ego doesn't die quietly. It panics. It will create imagined dangers and dress them up as responsible decisions. It will convince you to play small in the name of safety, especially around energetic portals like July 2nd, when the first quarter moon heightens contrast between light and shadow. Your ego fights to stay in control. It doesn't want truth, it wants survival. And to survive, it must keep you in familiar cycles, even if those cycles are suffocating your soul. But awakening requires discernment. Real intuition is calm, grounded, and clear. Ego, on the other hand, screams in fear and urgency. So, pause. Breathe. Don't let your awakening be derailed by a voice that's only afraid of your evolution. Let truth whisper louder than fear. Let your soul, not your survival instinct, guide the next step. Because everything you want is on the other side of what your ego is desperately trying to avoid. When the shadow arrives, it doesn't knock gently. It crashes into your dreams, hijacks your emotions, and pulls up memories you thought were long gone. But this isn't a haunting, it's an invitation. The parts of yourself that you rejected, silenced, or hid away are resurfacing because they're ready to be healed. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's your unacknowledged wisdom wrapped in pain. The discomfort you feel isn't punishment, it's the pressure of truth rising from within. These emotional flare-ups, strange visions, and forgotten moments are signals that your soul is trying to integrate its lost parts. They don't come to sabotage you, they come to complete you. Every uncomfortable emotion is a message. Every suppressed part holds a gift. But to reclaim that light, you have to walk through the darkness you've avoided. You have to sit with what makes you squirm and find out what it's trying to teach you. This is not regression, it's sacred retrieval. And when the emotional storm quiets, something even more disorienting may happen: spiritual amnesia. You might wake up feeling empty, disconnected, or confused about why you started this journey in the first place. But this void is not failure. It's the soul wiping the slate clean. Old programming is being deleted to make space for something truer. You're not lost. You're being recentered. Stay patient. In the silence that follows the shadow, a clearer signal begins to emerge, one that comes not from who you were, but from who you're becoming. As your awakening deepens and your energy stabilizes, something remarkable happens. You begin to glow from within. This inner light, born from healing and alignment, becomes a beacon, and like any light in the dark, it attracts attention. Some of that attention will be uplifting, people drawn to your truth, your peace, your power. But some of it will come from those who seek to siphon that energy for themselves, consciously or not. This is where discernment becomes spiritual armor. Your light isn't meant to be drained, it's meant to guide. Guarding your energy is not selfish, it's sacred. Not everyone deserves access to your frequency. Just as fire can warm or destroy depending on how it's used, your inner light needs boundaries to burn bright and steady. Learn to recognize energy leaks, conversations that leave you depleted, environments that feel heavy, or people who only show up to take. Your job is not to dim your light to stay safe. It's to protect it so it can shine authentically. You're not here to burn out. You're here to burn true. And as you protect that light, you'll also experience powerful emotional surges, waves of sadness, joy, anger, or peace that seem to come from nowhere. Don't suppress them. These aren't random moods. They're energetic purges. They're how your soul clears old data, outdated emotions, and blocked frequencies. Let the tears fall. Let the laughter crack you wide open. Emotion is sacred language, your soul speaking in its purest form. When you allow these feelings to move through you, unjudged and unblocked, you gain something priceless: emotional wisdom. After the storm of awakening has passed, after the breakdowns, the breakthroughs, the emotional purges, you might expect to feel powerful, even enlightened. But instead, what arrives is silence, a strange flatness. The awe you once chased now feels distant. This isn't regression, it's transition. You've outgrown the thrill of the search because you're no longer meant to chase the magic. You're meant to become it. The final phase of awakening is not about seeking, it's about embodying. This re-enchantment begins in the ordinary, in morning rituals, in how you greet the sun, in the way you breathe into moments instead of rushing past them. You stop looking for fireworks and start honoring the flicker of a candle. Wonder is no longer something you hope to find. It's something you create through presence, intention, and love. Your soul has moved from seeker to sculptor. You're now shaping your reality from the inside out. This is the highest initiation, becoming the magic you once believed was out there somewhere. And if any part of this message stirred something inside you, it means you're ready. Drop "I surrender to the shift" in the comments if this felt like your mirror. Like and share it with someone who's been quietly transforming without words. And don't forget to subscribe, because what comes next isn't just the end of awakening. It's the beginning of embodiment.